boom, right to the foot.
I'm high. I just want a milkshake. Like there's no way I'm getting pulled over in the half mile down the road.
I probably lived 15 years of marriage like that.
When I was younger, and not even that much younger, I probably would have gone really out of my way to be recognized by that kind of a person.
What? Yeah. Thanks for asking.
He's pacing around like he's an intern here.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is it cool if I take a break now? Or
hi, May.
I'll get back to work. Yeah, when I was at the kitchen, we didn't even have a break.
I watched that show on Hulu called The Bear.
Oh, yeah, it's a good show.
You do like it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would never heard of it. These were the two options that I had for you. Never heard of it. What's a TV? And fuck that. I worked in a kitchen. It's not realistic.
It is realistic.
It feels like it would be because of how stressful it is.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cooking show.
It's intense. They make it intense.
I'm like watching. I'm like, dude, I feel myself with like that guy does a very good job. The dude from Shameless.
Mm-hmm.
He does a very good job convincing the audience that this is stressed out.
Yeah. It's like do or die.
Stressed out by him on the fucking screen.
Yep. It is an odd job because, like, when you get hungry, so does everybody else. So you're working at those times. So when I was working in the kitchen, I didn't eat at all day long.
You're saying your coworkers get hungry at the same time as you?
No, like when people, yeah. When it's time for lunch, it's time for lunch for everybody.
Yeah,
and they're coming to eat. Yeah. Yeah, so didn't really take a lunch.
You don't look like a guy that eats a lot of lunch.
Nope.
You seem like a one meal a dayer.
I was, especially back then. If I ate during the day while I was working, I'd eat like a spoonful. I'd like purposefully make a little too much food for someone and then eat a spoonful.
Oh, sneaky, dude.
Like do that throughout the day. But if I ate too much, I'd get really tired and like a little bit of brain fog. And then I couldn't keep up.
I barely ever eat, dude.
Didn't I just watch you eat several pounds of meat?
Whoa, pounds.
Yeah, I just have too many digestive issues these days. Do you remember any dumb shit you did as a kid?
Nah, smart as fuck.
Yeah, same.
I remember trying to read in bed, and I had a nightlight that plugged into the wall, and I don't know where I got this like roll of speaker wire, but I was like, well, this is kind of like actually kind of crazy that I put this together in 4th grade, maybe 5th grade, where I was like, well, if I wrap these wires around the prongs and then pull that over to my bed so I have the light at my bed, and then I just shove the wires into the wall where the thing would go in, why wouldn't that work?
I mean, that's a pretty straightforward understanding of electricity.
How did I have any understanding of electricity? I remember not knowing anything, or if that was like gonna work, or if it was safe at all. But it logically it made
kind of makes sense. Yeah,
this connects that. Put that in there, and this over here should do it. Dumb as fuck. As soon as I stuffed them in there, fucking started sparking everywhere. They shot it on the carpet. The carpet lit on fire a little bit. I had to run and get a glass of water and dumped it on the fucking carpet.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like 9:00 at night. I don't want to tell anybody about it. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not reading tonight.
Did anyone find out?
I think my dad found the burned fucking wire the next day. I was like, what is this? I'm like, wow, let me tell you.
Oh, I would have been like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's Ivan's go-to. What?
How did that happen?
I never even seen that.
I remember I'd get like the sticky hands when I was a kid. You remember those?
Yeah.
Out of the quarter machine? And I'm like flinging it, getting grease handprints all over the wall.
Yeah.
And then I let loose of like, I sent it to like a corner lamp and it like gets over the shade right onto the light bulb and starts smoking.
Oh, fuck.
And then my mom's like, what is that smell? What's going on with this lamp? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think it's broken.
This fucking sticky hand is burning onto the...
Yeah, I think the lamp's broken. My mom got rid of the lamp. I was like, I don't know.
Better safe than sorry. I think smoking in the house.
Can I get another sticky hand, though?
Man, I did a lot of dumbass shit as a kid. I tried to play like Peter Pan with a saguaro cactus we had on our property.
It's illegal.
And a stick. And I don't remember how it happened, but one of the needles was through my finger.
Oh my God.
All the way through it.
Oh, okay.
They're fucking barbed. So when we went to the doctor to try to get it out, he's like, we got to pull it out that way, which was the fat way.
Ow.
And I was like, why can't we go the little way? And it was like all the things are like this. So
yeah.
you'd just be tearing your meat out with it.
You learned a lot that day.
Yeah, so they clipped a lot all the way down to the skin. So it's the less that you had to
Right.
go through.
That's smart.
And it just made her hold the finger and they just fucking yanked it through. I had
Ouch.
that one, and then I had my cowboy boots are indestructible. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a fucking alley behind our house.
I'm going to jump on a nail.
Yeah, there was a
Oh
board.
my God.
There was a board with fucking nails sticking through it. I'm like,
I got cowboy boots
dude,
on.
These boots are the shit. Boom! Right through the foot. Fucking retard.
Ah! Oh my God, that's incredible.
Dragged the plank of wood all the way back to the house with me.
Oh my God, just in you?
Yeah.
That's kind of hardcore.
Then I had to get a tetanus shot.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude.
Wow. Yeah, I remember getting like juice on my hand, you know, because I was that age where you always got juice on you. And I'm playing outside and I'm like wanting to clean my hands, but I'm in the desert. And there's this cactus, but like there's no spines on it. It just looks smooth. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wipe my hands on this, and I just do this on this cactus, and then there's just like hundreds of
little
tiny
hairs.
little, yeah,
Oh, no.
just covered in my hands now. Yeah,
Kenzie did that at the Lowe's Garden Center when she was like 3.
Oh no.
Look at these flowers, and brought them to me. I was like, oh no.
That
fuck.
sucks.
We found a trick. We like Googled a fucking trick to get them out. You take Elmer's glue, you cover their hands
hell
in
yeah.
a thin layer of Elmer's glue, and let
Yeah.
it dry. Put them in front of a fan, let it dry, and then peel them off in one sheet, and all the hairs came with it. I'm like, bro, that was way easier than it could have been.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't do the Elmer's glue personally.
Did the tweezers for 6 hours?
I don't even think I got an adult. I just was like, I'm going to just go to the bathroom and try to wash this off. I'm like, this is horrible.
It's like fiberglass.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, that was pretty dumb. So ketamine.
No.
Suppositories.
GLP-1s, dude.
GLP-1s? What is that?
Who are you?
That's the,
The new diet drug.
that's the Ozempic.
Yeah, giving everybody osteoporosis.
Yeah, dude. And there's I see a new commercial for a new version of it, every day.
Trizepatide.
Yeah.
Retatrutide.
Uh-huh. Trampolines. Trampolinezanine.
Yeah, dude. I've been on the Retatrutide. No, I made that up. Trizepatide.
You don't have to make stuff up, bro.
What do you mean? I've been on it.
You don't gotta impress me, bro. You've been on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read a lot of like
And this is a HG1?
GLP-1. Binds to the GLP receptors, and then there's other ingredients in certain ones that also help do other functions. and I kept reading a lot about them being able to regulate your digestive system and tract. And I was like, let's see. So I do like a super low dose of it every week. And I have found out a lot of things about myself.
Such as?
A lot of like inflammatory things because of how much you're eating. I work out a lot, so I eat a lot because my body's fucking hungry to like keep up with whatever it's doing, right? So when you start eating less, because it just takes away the urge to eat. I have to consciously think about like, oh shit, I've been awake for 18 hours and I haven't eaten anything. I need to go do that. Or I'll stand up and like get fucking lightheaded. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't eaten today.
Right.
Let me go make sure I take care of my nutrition. That's where a lot of people are falling into it, because most people are using it for weight loss purposes because it does that, right? And so it's like, well, fuck, I don't even feel like eating, so I just don't. That's not really fucking good for you. So that's why there's been a backlash now of like everyone's getting bone diseases and all this stuff, because they're like malnourishing themselves by not eating at all. And I look at how much fucking weight I lost. Yeah, look at your bones are getting like deteriorating and being eaten by your body to try to make up that nutritional value. That's not correct. So when you do it, you need to set aside like a good diet that's like, this is correct for how much my body needs, but will still be at a calorie deficit, so I'm losing a small amount of weight. Nobody's doing that. They're prescribing this shit like fucking crazy.
With no instructions.
No instruction.
Not that anyone would follow them anyway,
Correct.
really.
Yeah, if you've already let yourself go and you're huge, like you already don't care. But so, anyways, that's not the reason why I was taking it. I've only lost like 5 or 6 pounds. But the amount of inflammation that I'm no longer holding like in my midsection area because I'm not constantly fucking eating is surprising. And then all of the GI tract issues that I was having are gone. Like completely regulated.
No shit.
Yeah, dude, down to like a once a day, like nice one, not just like 8 times a day.
Hell yeah.
Water. So I'm like, this is fucking crazy. But the biggest fucking thing I noticed was like my mood was changing to the more positive side.
Oh, for sure.
And I was like, why would that be? And it wasn't until I decided to not take it 1 week. I did it for like 2 weeks and I was like, I'm not going to do it this week and just see what I feel or how I feel or whatever. And within a few days of not taking it on the scheduled day to take it, I started noticing the same like extreme amount of mental fortitude that it took to not eat bad shit, like the high glycemic snacks, like just candy, cookies, shit that is like always on my brain. I got a 2-week break from that, and that was when I realized how much that shit was weighing me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Super interesting and very fucking strange. So at that point, I'm like, this is weird, because Tiffany doesn't have any of that ever. She's like I like a chips snack. I like to eat a whole fucking cake. I like to go get pints of Ben and Jerry's from the gas station, and when I'm halfway through the pint, I'm like, man, I feel like shit. I'm gonna finish this.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah.
And she's always looking at me like, you ate that whole fucking thing? Like, yeah. She's like, don't you feel horrible? Oh yeah, the worst I've ever felt in my life right now. And I'm also like mentally really upset with myself for doing it.
Yeah.
But something told me to keep doing that. And it almost felt borderline out of my control. So I'm like, I'm going to throw this into the old chat GPT and see what the fuck this is. It got into reward centers in your brain, dopamine releases due to conditioning in childhood and everything else that condition you to find comfort or happiness in food. And that becomes a hardwired fucking thing. This took away the urge. It took all of that away by binding to certain receptors and making that no longer a thing that I thought about, and the amount of quality of life relief that I felt from that I didn't even notice until I let it lapse. and the feeling came back. Kenzie dog sat for the neighbors across the street, and as like a thank you thing, they brought over cookies or something. The cookies were sitting on the counter for like 2 days. Nobody even like had touched them yet.
Mm-hmm.
And when that shit wore off, like the second or third day or whatever that those cookies had been there, I remember walking through the kitchen and I looked at them and I looked back and I was like, oh.
I'm eating all these now.
Dude, I immediately was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Because I knew that feeling, like, oh, that is familiar, but why did I do that? I haven't done that in weeks. And then, because the stuff is not in there anymore. That's what clued me into it. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. So that I just went down the whole Chat GPT hole, dude, and went all the way through it. And it was really interesting for it to go through and ask me very specific questions and just get down to the bottom. Like, you don't have like, I don't remember what it was telling me that I didn't have, but it was like, this is a reward center problem, not like
impulse control
problem. And I was just telling it like, dude, it's exhausting to like constantly, I don't need to eat that. I don't need to eat this. You're like fighting this thing that never goes away. It's a losing battle every time because over time, with enough time, you're gonna lapse. Or even if it was, because it's always on your mind, what if you had a cookie once a week? That's a normal activity. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself for doing that.
Right.
But because it's a battle every day, minute by minute, to not do it, the one time you do it, whether it be once a month, once a week, once whenever, you feel so much fucking shame for doing it because like, fuck, I gave in. I'm a piece of shit. And you get like stressed out by that, and then you want another reward center thing. Now I'm upset. Now I'm gonna emotionally go eat, and it's like this fucking round and round, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I wonder how much of it is like there's probably a lot of different factors to that, right? Because there's like the way that sugar affects you systemically. Like eating sugar like gives you that kind of dopamine rush, but it also is like inflammatory.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I wonder how interconnected all those things are.
All of it, dude, from what it told me.
Yeah, because I remember asking it too before, like, if there was like one ingredient in food that should be like avoided most of all, like objectively speaking, what is it? And it's like sugar. Like, no doubt. It's like sugar is actually tied to essentially every chronic illness that we know of. I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah. Cancer, too.
Yeah, so then I just doubled down.
Just ate a bunch of sugar.
Yeah. No, I stopped for a while. I've never really been like a sugar person.
See?
Until like I dated one girl in Jersey who like her whole thing was like going out to get ice cream. And the ice cream in the Northeast is honestly next level. And it's different everywhere you go. So then I just like would go with her to like different ice cream shops. I'm like, sure, I guess. And then it was like, oh, cookies are actually pretty good, And then I worked at the restaurant, and one of my coworkers was a professional baker. And then I was like trying some of the shit she was making, and it's like all of a sudden it just like it got me, dude.
It's a fucking drug.
Yeah. And I don't sit down and I don't have a cookie, dude. I have 5 cookies.
Yeah, I eat the whole pack.
Yeah, it's going down. Yeah. Except for Oreos. I will say that got me when I was young. I literally thought, speaking of like dumb child things, I thought eating half a pack of Oreos was equivalent to eating a bowl of cereal. I'm like, that's, it's like milk and stuff.
That was the reasoning?
It's basically cereal. I'd have that for breakfast.
Cereals now is Cookie Crisp and fucking whatever. It's the same shit.
Yeah, dude, I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then I would just get a stomach ache.
Yeah, sugar cubes.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, dude, so that's
insane. I didn't realize it was like to that extent where like it's on your mind. Yeah. Like it's occupying real estate.
And you've lived with it so long. I don't know when that developed, but I've had it for forever. I've been like I have to very, very much watch myself because I have a body that likes to put on muscle, but it likes to put on fat too. Like whatever I'm giving it is going to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have people that maybe you're just don't eat a lot, but like you probably are also not somebody that like, well, if you go indulge in some shit 3 times a week, you're not going to start blowing up.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, you know, I have like I have a hiatal hernia. I've had that since I was a kid. So like, well, since I was a teenager. So like my stomach pushes up into my diaphragm. So that there's you know, like a valve that doesn't close, and it's like a sliding hernia. You know, they call it a hiatal hernia, but it's like it doesn't function the way people think when you think of like a hernia. It's literally just my stomach's moving up and down into my esophagus and into like my chest cavity where it like doesn't belong. So if I eat too much too quickly, then it pulls my stomach up into like my chest basically, and then it like that's part of why I get like incredibly tired, because it's actually like reducing the amount of like oxygen I can take in with a breath. Space. And then it takes like, you know, 3 times longer for me to digest that food than anyone I know like around me. You know, it's manageable. I could eat as much as a regular person if I ate a little bit at a time all day long, but I have never done that. And I've never been like had a lifestyle where that was even like felt like something I could do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't I don't eat a lot because I can't eat a lot, because it'll just make me take a nap or just make me feel ill.
It's interesting. That was another thing that got revealed. You said that it takes you longer to digest than most people. Mm-hmm. I'm the exact opposite. If I eat something, I can see it in 6 hours.
Boom.
I'm like, how the fuck? Like, you eat some corn, and then it's like, damn, bro, that was lunch.
Your body's like on it.
So I put that in there too. That's something I've noticed about myself in this chat. And it's like, fucking always doing the chat GPT. Oh, that's very interesting. That actually adds so much validity to this conversation. All right.
Yeah.
Chat fuck.
You're actually the coolest person I've ever spoken to.
But it said that's the slowing down process that this causes can make people who have a very fast digestive system slow down to the point where it just feels normal.
Yeah.
And that in turn was the inflammation killing thing in my midsection. So it just always kind of feels like there's like pressure in there. It's not the same as like full on like being bloated. Mm-hmm. But it just always feels like if I try to tighten up like my abs or something and really like suck it in and squeeze to look like my skinniest or something, there's pressure there that doesn't fully allow that. Yeah. And like, dude, once every 2 months or something, I might wake up in the morning and get out of bed and be like, oh shit, like I can feel like it almost feels like you're like shrink wrapped, like your skin's actually tight to yourself. And I get that very rarely. Mm-hmm. On this, I have it every day, all day.
That's badass.
I'm like, how is that possible?
I get that same sensation every once in a while too, where like I have a day where I'm like, hey, everything's functioning nice. And my mood is like incredible. I'm like in the greatest mood ever. That's the craziest thing about the digestive shit too, is like when my stomach's feeling good, I'm like a totally different person.
Oh, when you're not in pain?
Yeah.
Underlying painful. I feel so much better today.
You told me, you're like, hey, we're going to the grocery store, so you know, let yourself in or whatever. I'm like, oh, cool, I got extra time. I got to run to the grocery store too to grab some heartburn medicine.
Did you do that?
Yeah. Cause I'm like, oh, my stomach's just like kind of a little bit fucked. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Even like sitting in this chair, I'm like, oh, I want to just like get like cozy.
It makes you do that.
But it fucks with my stomach, so I have to like literally get myself to constantly correct and sit up straight.
I just thought you had really good posture.
No, it's otherwise my stomach's like getting pushed.
Your posture's a medical condition.
Dude, yeah, it's fucked up. It is garbage. And I just like, it's just made worse by the fact that when I found out that I had this situation, I was like 14, and I was like, okay, whatever. I made zero adjustments to my diet. And now it's just at a point where like I have no choice. Like if I want to have like a decent day, I have to like not eat garbage. I'll still eat garbage. I'll just do it at the end of the day.
That's the other thing with this stuff. You eat so little that you can't afford to waste the time you do eat on shit food.
Yeah.
If you're focused at all about your own nutrition, I mean, I'm sure there's people that just like, well, I'm finally hungry today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat this pack of Oreos and these 3 Twinkies. Like,
oh God.
Sure, it's fine. You're still gonna lose weight because you're starving yourself 90% of the day.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like if I know that I don't want like all my muscle to decay away and be eaten by my body because I'm just not eating food. Like, okay, when I actually am hungry and I get to that point, I need to make sure what I'm eating is what my body needs to eat.
Yeah.
So that doesn't leave room for all the other stuff where it's like just walk in the pantry 14 times a day and grab a cookie, grab some red vines, fucking whatever.
Yeah, I stopped eating sugar for a while. And the thing that like made it easier is like just keeping myself fed. Like I would just have like a fucking bar, like granola bar on me or something random like that, or like a handful of nuts. Yeah. But just keeping something in my system kept me from getting to like, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I'll fucking eat anything.
Yeah, as soon as I get there,
thing?
It doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna go crazy. I'll eat whatever garbage I can find. I'll hunt out the garbage food. But yeah, the hungrier I am, the more open I am to like eating something terrible.
Yeah.
It sounds obvious, but it took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, so that's been a new development that's been really nice.
That's really awesome. Congrats on that.
And then I asked it like, hey, so if I do this for long enough and set up kind of like a healthy habitual thing here, like will my body over time adjust and be like, hey, you don't need that reward center treat anymore? And I was like, no. Fuck.
Probably not.
Like, God damn it. So I got to take this shit forever to have that relief, to not be thinking about it constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, I try just like, I won't buy terrible shit if I go grocery shopping. But one of Jess's love language is basically snacks. She's like, "Oh, I got you some snacks." I'm like, "Don't give me that. Like, I don't want that."
That's hilarious.
And she's like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And the next day she shows up, "I got cookies." I'm like, "God damn it, dude."
Yeah, Tiffany does that shit.
Yeah.
I went to QT. Look what I got you.
I can't
do
stop her. Yeah.
And I can't stop me once I've seen
exactly.
It. Great.
Yeah. Like once it's here, I'm gonna eat it. So just like let's make sure it's not here.
Dude, when I was smoking weed, you throw that on top.
Ooh, fuck.
Oh my God, I was a fucking menace, dude.
Yeah.
I'd just be laying in bed and I'd like wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet I could eat the rest of that ice cream now. And I'd wander into the kitchen at fucking 2 a.m, smash the rest of the pint and go to bed. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah, dude.
In Jersey, I parked in front of my house. And
you deserve that.
I got a ticket.
You deserve that.
Yeah. I got a $12 ticket for parking in front of my house, which I didn't even know was a thing. And then I went to pay it online, and the website was down.
So you forgot.
So I forgot. I thought, because I went through all the steps.
And then you owed them $1,000 by the time you realized it, and they got around to
telling
you.
And then, well, I had just recently moved there, so I didn't update my address. So they sent me something in the mail, which I didn't receive, letting me know that my license was suspended at a certain point because I didn't pay that ticket.
God damn.
And then I got pulled over, and then your license is suspended. Here's a ticket. In Jersey, I never had an experience where a cop was like, all right, we'll just get it taken care of. Like, no, they're just like, all right, here's 6 tickets. Fuck you. Like, it was just terrible. So I got the suspended license ticket. I'm like, that sucks. It's like $300 or some shit. And I got a court date. It's bullshit from this $12 traffic, or this $12 parking ticket. And then that night I smoked weed. And I was like, fuck, I want a milkshake so bad. And the Wawa.
You had Wawa.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And it's like a quarter mile or maybe a half mile down the road.
You should jogged it out. Doubt it.
No, I'm like, I'm going to drive down. I'm like, what are the odds?
Now
Like, there's
it's illegal and I'm high.
I'm high. I just want a milkshake. Like, there's no way I'm getting pulled over in the half mile down the road. And I drive down the road, and there's like a downed power line and like 6 cops surrounding the area.
You start freaking out.
No, I got pulled over.
Oh, fuck. For what?
Driving on a suspended license.
That can't be.
They ran my plate or some shit. I don't know. But, yeah. And then, that basically turned into $3,000 worth of fines and a court date. And my license was suspended for like a month. I couldn't drive for a month. Yeah. That was absolute bullshit. But I really wanted that milkshake.
Did you get one?
I did not.
Oh, no.
See, this was like right before DoorDash was a thing.
Yeah, fuck.
Otherwise, I would have just done that.
That's saving so many DUIs, I bet.
Oh, God, yes. True. I haven't thought of that, but yeah.
They're like, oh, let's go. Fuck it, let's just order it. It's extra $5.
Yeah.
Even the most irresponsible person could get on board with that.
Yeah.
$5 more for not potentially getting a DUI.
What do you think the most, like, regretful food you've eaten? Regretful meal you've had, like just
good and then...
overly indulgent.
Oh.
Like disgusted with yourself.
Dang.
Mixing a bunch of wacky things together. Especially, I don't know, when I was stoned, it was like a feast of absurdity.
I don't know, dude, I was high, I can't remember.
Yeah. I think I had a bowl of ramen with like a Hot Pocket in it and like a side of Oreos and like bag of chips. No, probably it actually probably would have been like shit I took from Taco Bell when we worked there. I'd bring like a bag of nacho cheese home.
What?
And then we were right next to the Subway, so I'd bring all the leftover cookies from the Subway. Yeah, whatever like nacho cheese didn't sell at the end of the night, I'm just like yanked that bag, and it was a Pizza Hut combo, so I'd have the personal pizzas, like, 8 of them, with a bag of nacho cheese and all the leftover cookies from Subway.
Why?
Because I was gonna get stoned and hang out with.
What the fuck are you gonna do with a bag of cheese?
Dip my pizza in there. What are you talking about?
Ew, dude. I'm not a fan
Get
of nacho
creative.
cheese, I guess, so this is just not for me.
You're not?
No.
Wow, it's nacho cheese.
It's not. It's not for me.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's hardcore, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It's pretty ruthless.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any of those. Like, just that makes no sense type shit.
A animal lunatic meal.
Yeah. No, I'm like pretty structured about the shit I'm gonna eat, and it's gonna be very sugary.
Yeah, you think you've mentioned like cereal as a thing.
Cereal was I don't know why cereal and being high is
Oh, it's the best.
the ultimate combo.
It really is, because you have cotton mouth. For me, it was like, because like, oh, my mouth is so dry. You eat cereal, though, it's like the solution.
And cereal's like the never-ending culprit of just fucking you over, because
Mm-hmm.
you eat it and then you're like, oh, there's a little milk left. So you add a little more cereal.
Yeah.
But then you added too much, and you're like, well, fuck, I need to finish it. So you put more milk. And then there's too much milk again, and it's just round and round you go till the box is empty or you're out of milk.
I would get a Tupperware for a bowl. I'm not gonna fuck around with like.
I don't want to do that because I prefer like more little bowls so it doesn't get soggy.
Oh no, I'm eating it quick. Oh man, I remember my grandma having grape nuts. You ever have those?
Yeah, dude. Fucking
rocks. Yeah, fucking crack your tooth. Here's some grape nuts.
Pour it like 30 minutes in advance and just let it sit for a while.
I just found out the other day that the refrigerator is like, I don't even think it's 100 years old.
Oh, like the invention of
Yeah.
the refrigeration.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Like,
Is it? You know what's even crazier that I didn't think about until the 4th of July when it was the America's 250th birthday. And I was like, whoa,
what?
shit, that's pretty cool. This was 250 this year.
Oh my God.
1776 to 2026.
That's crazy. It doesn't seem like a lot of time.
So that's where I was like, that's pretty fucking cool, dude. 250 years. And I'm like, wait. 4 generations? We ruined this place this bad with 4 sets of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this and ruin the whole fucking time here talking about all the fucked up shit with the government, but that fucked me up for a while. Like, dude, that's all it took? 4 sets of people to go from like, fuck your 2% tax on tea, we're going to kill you and we're leaving, to like, now we give away like 60% of our money.
You know what I think is crazy is this idea of, and listen, I'm not super informed about like government and politics in general and history and really anything. But just this idea of like, oh, we're going to leave and we're going to have this like separation of church and state, you know? We don't need the church like having a hand in state affairs.
What are you saying that is?
Hmm?
What? Are you relating our independence to that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But like then we separate us from church and state, and then like corporations come and just do that too. Like they're just like, we're gonna play our hand in whatever's going on with government. You know what I mean?
I'm not connecting the dots.
Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on. My assumption out of ignorance is like the church and state were intertwined, and the church had a say in what like laws were getting passed and whatever, right? So
okay, so
America was like,
religious freedom is like, we should not be doing that.
America's like, let's separate that shit.
So instead they've replaced
But then corporations came in and then they're like, hey, I think you should do this and here's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, is that didn't we,
corruption's
we just took we left one thing and kind of like adopted a worse thing, because at least church had supposedly like a sense of morality baked into it, right?
Yeah, no, it got out of hand, but
I mean, that could be the most idiotic thing to say because I don't actually know how it all functioned, but
I mean, it doesn't. You can't refute it.
It just seems weird.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. Well, the whole corporation
$60 million so you can run enough ads to put your shit on there so people elect you.
How that continues to be legal is just like
how this system is run at all. Is like, why are we doing this still?
It's weird. It's really weird how there's like so much that everybody pretty much unanimously agrees is wrong.
Yeah.
And then just continues to occur. Like, it's like,
because the back door, oh, let me tell you about this big, beautiful bill. It's doing these 4 things for the American people. And you're like, dope, I can get down with that.
And also, right.
And then don't look at these other 998 pages of this thing.
Right.
What the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to sit there, who's voting on this shit, and read all of it to understand it?
Right.
No one. So go ahead and put in whatever the fuck you want, mix it in, make a big old fucking mess out of it. And if nobody catches it, nobody catches it. And what's the worst that happens? If they do catch it, fuck, they got me. I'll try again next time.
This is another like great use for AI though. Because it's just like,
filter this shit.
Hey, read this bill in 5 seconds. And here's everything that like I need to like make sure is not in there, or like alert me to the things that you know don't align with our interests or are like suspicious or shady.
Or what do you think's not good for
ding
humanity?
Ding ding ding. Yeah.
Yep. Dude, everybody's fucking bitching about AI like taking over the world and doing all. I think it's going to make it has the potential to make a big difference in things like that.
It's too wide-reaching You know, I don't get why people would be so polarized about it, because it's got its hands in so many different things. Like, you can't say AI's like shitty when, you know, an astronomer takes an image of the night sky and captures, you know, thousands upon thousands of stars and is supposed to like track like what might be a meteor or something, right? And has to like look at everything. Or just the AI is like, oh yeah, that last week was over there. So like that's something, you know? But then like I think people get obviously, you know, they start feeling weird about AI in terms of like creation and like art. People are weird about. And also just like the idea of it, you know, replacing mental effort, you know? But there's so many absurd benefits to it that
How do you
you
know
can't just
that?
write the whole thing off.
You could say the same is true for refrigeration.
Tell me more.
Everybody at the time was probably like, this is so great. We can keep our food for so much longer now. And what did that turn into? Having a massive population, farming that we don't need to do on an individual basis, the lessons of life and how to keep ourselves alive and satiated with food has gone away, which then bred into companies just making shit food that's fun and is killing us and giving us cancer and increasing all of these horrible diseases. You could blame that on something that looked good at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things
Yeah, yeah.
like you have an idea of it at one point.
You solve one
You
problem
have no idea where that's going.
and it snowballs.
And it could be good or it could be bad. But how do we know this isn't just the next step? Like AI is going to take over and kill us and we're all going to become droids and this and that. How do you know that's not the next thing that needs to happen?
Sure, yeah. And it might. And if that's the path we're headed towards, we're on it. You know, it's not slowing down. And because there's so many benefits to it. Or like you know, they use it in like removing cancerous tissue when they do breast cancer surgery, and it can like detect what's regular tissue and what's cancerous tissue like 80 something percent better than a doctor can. Why would you not do that? You imagine a doctor being like, no, I'm fucking against AI. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use my good old eyeballs here and my 30% success rate, you know? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, the biggest problem is going to be what we decide is a serviceable use of it and something that it should not be used for. Because it could go either way. You could make it do horrible shit. You can make it do great things.
Yeah, but it's all in the hands of like whoever's using it, and you're free to use it however you want. And
for now.
And how are you going to use it? I mean, it's like social media. It's like social media could have been anything. YouTube could have been anything. It became the, you know, the like psychological brain rot that it is now because it's being informed by how we use it. And then that like
why are we
climbs
using it like that?
Because we're like under-evolved animals with like technology.
Incorrect.
And access.
It's being manipulated.
Well, that too.
In the background to fuck you over. They are hijacking your attention.
It is, but it is
to make money.
But it is doing that in response to the way that we use it anyway. Like, it's like we're giving it attention, and that is, you know, what gives them money is our attention. And so then it's like, okay, so what kinds of things are people willing to spend their attention on? Well, let's develop an algorithm to give it more of that. You can say there's two sides to it, like you know, maybe you do only want your social media to give you the information that like feels more worth your attention, you know? So is it like necessarily bad? It's like, yeah, because it gets to an extent where it's like it's trying to keep you on like a platform that realistically doesn't require you to interact with it for more than like 10 minutes, and now you're on it for like 5 hours. You know, like,
even if that was the case, but at least it was your decision, I'd be okay with that. Because then I would support your claim that we're choosing to use it the way that we use it. Are we? They're integrating it into life. You can't like live without using it now.
Well, yeah, it's reached that point. I'm saying as it started.
In the background, they are manipulating you by choosing what to show you and what to not show you, and to get you ramped up and riled up, to show you a product based on other things they've heard you say through your fucking phone. It is not this innocent, like, well, we're just using it fucked up. No, they're using it as a weapon against us to make money for themselves.
Well, it's both. You know, it's like if someone's constructing a building and they're trying to let's say someone's constructing like an apartment complex and they're trying to figure out where to like place the sidewalks, and you notice that between like these two areas there's already a pre-carved dirt path that people just kind of naturally took. You know, people who are walking around, one person walks this path and then another one, and then it starts to kind of clear a path, and then they go, oh, well, let's put a sidewalk right there, right? So it's like the behavior informed what occurred next, right?
I don't think that's happening.
I think, why not?
Because it's preemptive, it's not reactionary. To that scenario, I would say that the people building the infrastructure, the sidewalks, the buildings, whatever, would say, where do we want these people to walk? Okay, let's send out a thing that tramples this path and makes it look like everybody walks there, so they start walking there, because that's where our stores are, and we want them to buy shit.
Yeah,
it's not the most efficient place to put one. It's not the best for the user. It's not the best with anyone else in mind other than making money, and then they show it to you to get you to think it was your choice.
Yeah.
And then they make it as easy as possible to do it. And that's everything. Fucking sugar, shows, shorts, fucking all of it.
I remember watching, like, back in the day, like a commercial for like a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and they showed this graph of like pressure points from your body in contact with the mattress, and it made no fucking sense. Like, it was just like so much information packed on this, like, 5 seconds. I'm like, what is that graph? Like, I don't think it's science. I think it's just like the framing of science, like the framework of like, look at all this like studied information.
And you take their word for it.
And you go, oh yeah. You don't even like think twice, because you just assume like, oh, that's probably legitimate, right?
Like when the government tells you they didn't do 9/11. Like, yeah, why would they do that? Oh, to make fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's both, It's like you can only work with what you got, and it has gotten to a point where it's like, man, they have such a grasp of human psychology and behavior that like beyond, like, some of these algorithms designed specifically for that purpose know you in a specific way more than you know yourself.
Yeah, because it's subconscious.
Yeah. And it's, how are you going to like combat against that?
They've already proven that dating apps use your information and all your habitual stuff and all this shit, not to find you love, but to give you some kind of like toxic relationship that will feel good, playing off of your trauma points and all this other shit. So you trauma bond with someone else, have a relationship, but ultimately you come back to the app.
But I mean, like, why did Instagram go from like a online photo album scrapbook to like everybody's own personal reality TV show? It's like,
what do you mean, why?
I mean, how did it go from just like, hey, here's a place where you can like post pictures, to like competitively like highlighting just the most photographic parts of your life to present a version of yourself that doesn't exist, like
because they paid celebrities to launch it. Hey,
no,
we'll give you a bunch of money if we can take pictures of your perfect life and portray this perfect thing so everybody chases this.
I don't think you needed it. I don't think you needed a celebrity. You just need one person to be doing better. You just need numbers.
Yes.
You need metrics to see.
And over time, it would eventually.
And then it becomes competitive. Like as soon as like.
But it doesn't help throwing gasoline on it when you're like, hey,
right,
we're gonna set up professional photo shoots for all these rich people and show all this shit. So everybody wants this, so we can sell more product. We need Gucci to be more popular. We want more money.
Right.
Put this fucking retard in the Gucci suit and send him over there. Take pictures. Look how happy he is.
Right, but that's what I mean. It's like you're not like changing human psychology. You're figuring out where the levers are and you're pulling them. Like you're orchestrating and building around what levers are pre-existing in the first place. People have insecurities and that
is changing the course of what would have happened.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Because they're putting all the weight on
where they
that
want it
metric.
to go. Have you heard Alex Jones? Do you know who that is? The InfoWars guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to try to do the voice, and I was like, fuck, I don't think I could do it good enough.
They're making the frogs gay.
Yeah, turning the water gay. That dude, I saw, it's like circulating right now. Before they even called it AI, he called it. He called it the hive mind. They're creating a hive mind. And I was like, that's an interesting way to put it. And it just kept going. It was on Joe Rogan's show, and he's fucking freaking out about this shit. And he's like, you guys don't even understand. They just want the control. And they're like, they didn't understand. Joe Rogan and the other dude on the podcast at the time didn't understand what he was saying. And I'll do my best to like not fuck this up. But basically he was talking about they want to know everything about you, so that they can start doing things once they make a supercomputer, is what he called it. So he's like, they're going to make some kind of supercomputer that takes all this data that they're collecting through social media and all these things, and they're going to know everything about everyone. And when they know everything about everyone, they can start injecting things into the real life, the world, problems, so they can give you answers, and they can start moving the crowd exactly how they want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, holy shit. So we're really just one step away from them using it to manipulate entire societies to do whatever they want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when you have like 10 companies that own 90% of everything, all you got to do is convince 10 fucking people.
And when you think that like you're the person who is like, oh, it's not going to get me though. It's like,
why?
Dude, no.
No one's not susceptible.
Yeah, that's what's craziest about it. Is like you can try to be clever and like feel like you're finding ways to keep yourself safe and protected from all that, but at the end of the day, you have the same psychological.
Well, you'd have to straight up like go into non-participation.
Exactly. You have to,
and that's almost impossible. Like even if you didn't want to participate in anything, you still have to have a job. You still pay your fucking electric bill. You still drive to the grocery store. You're still doing everything everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So unless you're gonna like cut it off, not have power unless you create it yourself, live on your own little farm, make your own food, not have any human contact outside of your little thing. Now you're a fucking weirdo in a cult, and like that. What kind of life is that?
Right. Sounds nice. It does make me like nervous about having kids because like.
Yeah. We can get into that too. The fucking birth rate crashing to the floor and the projected like, well, if motherfuckers don't turn this around and start having kids again, we're just going to be done.
Yeah, which is funny because like it wasn't that long ago that people were freaking out about overpopulation.
Which was a lie.
Yeah.
Like they had zero information to support that.
They had information, it wasn't taking into account everything.
Well, I guess you could still make the argument for overpopulation in terms of food supply.
That's what most of the argument was
I
about.
always thought
But we pivoted and like invented our way through it.
like they were talking about like room on the planet. I'm like, there's
No.
fucking all kinds of places to live.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, Japan is already weird with like, I think, I could be exaggerating, but I think it's something like 80%. That sounds a lot, but like 80% of people in their 30s are still like virgins in Japan.
Well, the whole metric in like a lot of like most countries at this point is flipped from old people to young people. There's more old people than there is young people.
Yeah, that's wild.
They were tracking it as fucking rudimentary as this is. They were tracking it by like baby diapers sold to old people diapers sold, and the number is swapping.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's an interesting way to track it.
Yeah, that's kind of retarded if you ask me, but I just saw something the other day that said China is at its lowest birth rate at like 5 point something per thousand.
They had a limit for a while, right?
50 fucking years.
Did they? Is that still a thing?
Per household. They got rid of it because
wow,
they ruined their population.
That's wild.
And it especially upset the balance between male and female. Because if you can only have one child, and your name, your family legacy is very important to them over there. And you have to have a boy. If it's not a boy, you abort it.
Oh shit.
So then all they had was boys, unless you put in a fucking to get a license to have a second kid, and then it's 50-50 on whether you have a girl or not. And if it's a boy, it's against their policy to kill boys.
Oh, what?
Because that's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So it's like the fucking boy to girl ratio is like 3-1 or some crazy shit. But they are now at their lowest all-time birth rate since 1949.
Yeah, that's insane.
Almost 100 years. But the population is like 5 times its size since then.
Yeah.
How do you have 5 times more people able to fuck that aren't fucking and having kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a weird deal.
It is weird because there's a lot of things working against it. It's like, for me, it's like financially it's a challenge. But also the world as it's that trying to picture the world that they're going to come into is impossible in a way that it just really wasn't, like if you were like in the 80s, you know, with how quickly things are changing with AI and understanding how it's only going to get faster. I just have no idea what the world is going to be like. And like with that, how do I prepare them for it?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
It's already like that, dude. Like all the things.
Yeah. And then like birth rates, like not birth rates, but like fertility rates have gone down, which is, you know,
because we're eating poison.
Purported to be on microplastics and shit.
Yeah, microplastics, not the 72 injections they give a baby instead of 6 from fucking 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Not the fucking quality of the food where people are overfed and undernourished. That can't possibly be it.
Well, I mean, it's even more factors than that, I'm sure. But you know what's crazy? I hit up the chat GPT and was like, what's the deal with this microplastics thing? Is this legitimate? Is this a legitimate concern? And it's saying like, well, like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of like a new study. And I'm like, how does someone like work around it? You know, like, or try to protect themselves from it. It's like you can avoid buying plastic stuff like drinks in a bottle and, you know, appliances and whatever. But the vast majority of it is in the atmosphere.
So you can't.
You're not avoiding it. Yeah. Like, oh shit, dude, that's insane.
We'll see.
So I'm gonna have a plastic baby.
They don't eat as much.
They eat like the plastic food.
Eat their fucking plastic hand.
Those like, old like the kitchens you'd get for your kid with the fake pancakes. That's what you gotta. Yeah, so the world is just.
Damn it, dude! I said I wasn't gonna do this.
What's up?
But we did it.
We did it.
We're still talking about the government and fucking.
The government. It's not even the government. It's just the not so hopeful looking future.
But like, when is it ever hopeful?
But there is another side to it, It's like I think there are cool things. I would like to think that AI is going to introduce some like incredible solutions to some very difficult problems. But what makes me nervous about it is like if there's a dark turn, it's going to have become so useful that we won't get rid of it.
What fucking problems are left to solve other than the ones we're creating?
Well, those.
Why? Stop doing more shit.
I mean,
and
like,
we can just live a normal life.
Like, pollution and global warming and microplastics. And,
stop doing all of this extra shit. Go back to farming and just living life.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Simpler life. Oh my God, all the problems disappeared. There are only more problems because you keep creating more bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're going to do. We're just this
and it's
species
not
that just
like,
can't stop fucking innovating.
It's not easy to do that either. It's not like I can just go out and find a plot of land and go, I'm going to live right here.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Because we've already fucked it up.
Yeah.
So wait until all of the people die, and then it's like the government can't really track who owns what anymore, and nobody's going to come for this 100 acres in fucking Missouri. So then you're like, cool, I'll just call this mine. That's what they did when they came here. Kill the fucking Indians, and then be like, all right, cool, this shit's mine.
Yeah. It is creepy. It makes me think of, like, Westworld. Did you ever watch that show?
Yes.
Like, by the end of it, the guy's got the AI in his ear.
I didn't end up finishing it, I don't think. It was very long and drawn out, but it was cool for the first few seasons.
Yeah, and it does, like, turn into almost a different show towards the end.
Yeah, it turned into like this maze that they were trying to solve. I'm like,
but basically the guy that like, created that whole like Westworld shit has like a super AI, and he has it like an earpiece. So this guy doesn't even make decisions. He has this AI telling him what to say and how to interact in each given moment to get the outcome that he's trying to get. And so he does. It's just like, oh shit, now we all have like a tiny version of that. And there's going to be people doing exactly that. They're just going to outsource as much as possible to the AI. And then they'll develop an anxiety about making it their own decision, because it might be the wrong one.
That's just called everyday life.
So it's
but you haven't exercised it in so long that it feels foreign.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But, yeah. Things are probably going to be fine.
Yeah, probably not. It'll probably take longer than we need, though.
I mean, once we're all in the Matrix, it'll be cool.
I thought I had some fucking notes.
I had a question, which was, what is the strangest coincidence that you've experienced?
Recently or just ever? God.
Does one come to mind? No. Is there one that was like, oh, that was crazy?
They're happening.
What are the odds? Yeah, whatever comes to mind.
But I can't remember any of them.
Okay.
So specific that it's hard to like pluck one out.
Yeah. I got a dumb one. In high school, my friend was like, hey, can you throw me that bag of chips? It was like a little, snack bag of chips. I was like, sure. And I was like, fuck you. And I threw it at the ceiling fan, and it went through the blades, and then it landed on top of the blade, and it spun a couple of times before sliding off right into his lap. I was like, wow. I tried to play it off like I did it on purpose, but yeah.
Oh.
That's retarded. Yeah, that's not like an interesting one.
I thought we were going deeper than that.
No, I'd like to, but that's the one I remember.
Like, oh, I kicked this kickball, it bounced off the trash can, hit me in the nuts. What a coincidence.
How deep?
Dude, they happen all the time, to the point where I think that's a better question: is do you believe at this point in your life in coincidence, or do you believe that the things happening in your reality are created by you and then caught up to you in time?
I mean, it's like we call something a coincidence when we recognize it, but like how many coincidences are occurring around us all the time that we just don't recognize?
What makes it a coincidence is you recognizing it.
Right, exactly.
If you didn't place meaning on it, it's just another thing that happened that you didn't care about.
Like maybe like while I was driving on my way here, maybe I was driving behind someone who I was in school with in the 3rd grade, and they're also on their way to do a podcast. You know, like, I don't fucking know. I didn't notice, so I don't know. So I'm sure shit's happening all the time. That's like, whoa, what are the odds? It's just like I didn't know it.
So where do you stand?
I don't know. I think there's a difference between that and then like serendipitous moments.
Define.
I don't know.
I was going for the word synchronicities.
Yeah.
But then you said serendipitous.
I don't know the dictionary definition, but I would assume it's something like, you know, unlikely coincidence that feels significant, right?
Okay. That's I guess that's the same thing as this.
It's a coincidence.
Synchronicity's like what? Like this happened because that happened. And that
yeah. It feels like a part of a larger web of things. Yeah, in the moments where I feel like I'm living my life like as honestly as possible and just like not lying to myself. I experience those moments way more often than when I'm not. And that seems significant.
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
When I'm really like going hard with like trying to live my life in the most honest way possible and not lying to myself primarily, right?
Okay.
About like, you know, if it were like diet, I'm like, oh, I'm going to cut out sugar, you know. There's no like, oh, I'm just going to have this one thing. I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm like taking it seriously. And I'm reaching that into as many aspects of my life as I can. When I am doing that, I'm always trying to, but it's like a constant like up and down thing. And when I am, it's like that's when I start like bumping into people who I haven't seen for years, or like just like weird things start lining up. Weird opportunities start coming, you know, into fruition that like maybe I just thought about this. It would be cool if I did this, and then all of a sudden it appears, right? Yeah. What?
Do you have an example of this recently? The most recent?
Probably this podcast, you know?
So what was the decision that you made that ended up here?
To move to Arizona.
You wouldn't have done that if we didn't end up like talking through the phone for a while?
No. Like that was the initial thing. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, that was already planned.
I need to get back to Arizona. So then I started taking the steps and like keeping my head down and doing the work to leave Jersey. And then...
But you didn't necessarily know why.
I didn't know why. I felt like I had to get out of there. And at every step of the way, I felt like shit was pushing back against me. Like it felt like moving upstream a little bit. But I just like was like, I got to make this happen. I didn't allow myself to get discouraged out of the idea, right? And then at a particular low point, right before I was about to move back here, is when you reached out. Like, and that wasn't 2 years before, and it wasn't a year later. It was right before I moved back here, right? And it wasn't like you hit me up and you were like, hey, let's start a podcast.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be
No,
linear.
it was just like we reconnected at a time when my whole point actually for wanting to go back to Arizona was like, I need to be back around people who know me, and I need to like reconnect with those people, because right now I'm around a bunch of people who know like the latest version of me, but they don't understand like me historically, right? And that felt important to me because it's not something I have in my life. Because I didn't have
something you need. I only
Yeah.
asked that because I'm like doing
For
the
me-
opposite now.
For me, yeah, because like I mean, I don't have like a close relationship with my family. It just, the people who know you historically, who've seen you through a phase or phases, like have a depth of understanding of you that anyone who meets you later just like won't, you know? Unless you end up like, you know, knowing them for a long time as well. But like, yeah, it just felt necessary for me to feel like that type of understanding between people.
Where, at that time, where did you think you were going to get that?
From like past friends.
Schmidt?
Mm-hmm. And just people out here, you know, like, it's also like Freddie was going through his own personal shifts, and like,
I forgot that I always forget that you're pretty good friends with him.
yeah, I mean, I'm not the best at like staying connected to people, like consistently, but like, I'm like, we're friends and that's not going to change. Like in my mind, I'm like, if I don't talk to you for a year, it doesn't change how I feel about this friendship, you know?
Right.
I'm just bad at like maintaining friendships with someone who lives like an hour and a half away, you know? But still, because there is a history, I can do that. Like we can get together like a year from now, and there's a familiarity, and we can hang out and do something together, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Which is different than like whatever I had in Jersey, you know? These people weren't.
What do you mean by these people?
I mean, these like, you know, opportunistic people who treated relationships as like transactional.
What can I get from this?
Yeah.
That was a lot of them?
Yeah. That was virtually every friendship I had out there was that, except for one. But literally just one wasn't. And
Would you blame that on like
I blame it on the culture.
big city
Yeah.
type shit?
Mm-hmm. I think that like a high population of people naturally reinforces this idea of competitive, limited resources kind of a thing.
Yeah, the more people congregate in one spot, you start competing for resources.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me accidentally do the Gen Z type shit thing?
No, I didn't. That's hilarious. That's hilarious type shit.
I paused right before I said it, and then I said it, and I was like, what the fuck did I just do?
6'7".
Oh, God, yeah. Who knows what that means?
Nobody does. So, yeah. Anyways, we were talking about serendipity. That's where this is all coming from. You know, that was a time where, like, I felt like I was intentionally trying to align myself with the life that I felt like I was supposed to be having. Right? And then in that, serendipitous moments continuously happening, right? In the times of my life where I'm not doing that, maybe I'm like in a depression or something, and it's hard to get myself like, you know, attentive and motivated, then it just, those things don't happen, you know? I'm not saying that that's like a there's something
No.
spooky going on there.
I'm trying to follow it back and determine why that would be. And I really would think, like, when you're in that state of mind, you're not doing things that are encouraging that. You're not meeting new people.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not going out of your way to talk to people and have more.
Right. My activities are casting a wider net inherently of like dots to connect. Otherwise,
I heard somebody just describe this thing about luck and about how luck was broken up into like X amount of categories. And I'm not even going to attempt to fucking redo it because I watched it once and was like, whoa, that's like really crazy. Saved it, and then I've forgotten it since. But one of them was the luck of motion. Assuming that luck is just things happening to you,
mm-hmm.
the less you do, the less exposure you have to things happening to you.
Right.
And then there were several other categories of luck, and it said the more of these categories you get into, the more of them that you do, the more luck you're going to have. And then you have to wonder, is it luck at all? It's just exposure.
Yeah.
So if you're in a deep depression and you don't leave your house and you don't talk to anyone on the phone, you go to work, you come home, you're not interested in talking to people, yet nothing crazy or serendipitous is going to happen in your life.
Although
nothing's happening at all.
Although the example I gave you is you reaching out to me.
That is strange.
At a very specific time. And it didn't require me doing anything.
It required me doing it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You were the subject of a possible serendipitous moment,
mm-hmm.
but caused by someone who was doing the motion luck, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
There's always two parts to play in it. We talked about that a little bit, like a long time ago. We were talking about something, and I said, maybe it's not so much about what you're getting from the moment, but maybe what you're doing for someone else at that time. And you had brought up some guy that you lived with or something, and I don't remember what we were talking about in that moment, but does that ring a bell? So you moved in with some guy and you just ended up saying hi to him or some shit and it turned into something.
Oh, yeah.
Was that in your benefit or his? Or someone else's?
I would say both of us, yeah.
Oh.
And that's the one friend I had that wasn't transactional.
Oh, shit.
Right, yeah, that was someone I met randomly at a jam, and then months later, on Christmas Day, he's walking in front of my house.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it was weird. And then became like my best friend out there. And then housed me when I lost the place I was living.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to compare it against like something like depression where there's a lot less action going on, but I think there was a time in my life where I was a lot more like opportunistic when I was younger, you know, and I did kind of think like, what can I get out of people? Not like in a malicious or super conscious way, but just like that's what I thought everybody was doing, right?
To some level, everybody is doing that.
Yeah.
You don't hang out with people that you don't give to and receive from. It's
just there's something weird about like the result, like what I got in return out of my life in general was incredibly different in that coming like when I was motivated from that space than when I was just like, I'm just going to like try to be honest and I'm going to do the things that like are harder, but I know are like right for me, you know? And I'm going to do things that are uncomfortable, but I know are like correct, you know? Totally different.
That's God, dude.
That's the Lord.
That is the argument.
I mean, a part of me thinks that.
Whatever that means.
How I think of it truly is like there is a path that is yours. Like there is a life that you should be living. And you either decide to live it or you kind of go off. I think we might have talked about this before where I'm just like, it's like the freeway versus like side roads, right? Like the freeway is that life that you should be living, but you can really easily kind of get derailed a little bit and then a little bit more and more and more. And then it becomes harder to get on that path, right? But yeah, and I think of that as like in my own personal internal world, I'm like, that's like the God path. That's like the path that was like made for you. And you're not forced to take it. It's just there.
But that's an interesting analogy to the freeway thing. If you think about it, like if there is a destination, I'm trying to get over the idea of there being one because that makes me not enjoy anything until I try to get to one.
Yeah.
So, but let's say all roads, surface streets, and the freeway end at your death.
Sure.
For your physical being here, you're done.
Yeah. Which they do.
But everything in between there is negotiable. However, the one that feels fastest and most fulfilling is the one that, like you're talking about, is laid out for you. That's the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
You can fucking get off the freeway and go fuck around over here for a while. And you'll have a bunch of other shit going on. But it won't feel like that. Have you ever heard the being in flow?
Of course,
flow state.
Experienced it a lot as a cook and a musician.
So there's a different feeling to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to explain. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like...
But I know when I'm in it.
I think it's most noticeable for me by like the nature of time. Moves weirdly. A little bit faster or a little bit slower. Or like ceases to exist, you know? Like when I was cooking, if I was in a flow state, it's like there's no thoughts almost of like, I wonder, there's no wandering thoughts. It's just like mechanical, yet like zen in a way. It's so completely consumed in the present that like,
yeah,
you're not drifting internally. And then like, I think if I had to guess, that was like 30 minutes and like 3 hours went by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay.
That's funny because that's the same feeling that I get when I hit, when I decide like once every fucking 8 months to like sit in this chair in my room and like just try to just calm myself into a place of no thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I put headphones on that like resonate at a certain frequency. I'll watch like a video that just buzzes at a certain frequency. And I just try to stay there and with the breath, you know, just breathing and being very conscious of your breathing. And I'll be like, all right, like I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I usually do it if I'm like fucked, like this day is shit. I'm fucking pissed about nothing I could really pinpoint. I'm making people around me miserable. Fuck this. I'm going to leave me the fuck alone. I'm going in my room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do that. I have never once done it and not been successful at being in a tremendously better mood after.
Yeah.
Ever. It works 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And every time it's worked, I have looked at the clock and been like, holy shit.
Right.
Or Tiffany will come find me.
Yeah.
When I was in the shed doing it, fixing my knees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's like, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, you've been in here like 2 fucking hours. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's weird. I that happens to me occasionally now with like massage work. And it's massage is so strange because like the subtle shifts of my mood I've noticed like have a big impact on like the response I get from the person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems obvious, but to me, I'm like, I'm doing the same thing I always do.
In what sense?
Like I'm providing the work the way that I provide it. right? At least it seems that way.
Are you categorizing the work as just a physical touch portion?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay.
I don't know.
I can loosen a fucking bolt by turning it nicely with a wrench, but I can also loosen it by hitting it with a fucking hammer.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but physically it feels like I'm doing exactly the same thing. Like, mentally I feel in different places, you know? One, like I'm like, maybe it's like I'm really struggling to pay attention to like what I should do and how I should do it.
But why?
I don't know. But in the flow state thing, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just like allowing things to happen is what it feels like. There's a sense that I'm almost like observing myself do it, but not in charge of it. I'm just like, oh, okay, and then this, and you know what I mean? There's just less conscious like effort being put in. It's just happening.
With the current, not against it kind of thing.
Yeah, but it also feels
and you're
the same. Like,
I don't think it feels the same. I don't think you'd.
I mean, to me,
I don't think you'd say that, right?
I don't know.
If you can describe the differences between the two times when you're in or when you're not, then you can't say they feel the same.
Yeah, I guess not.
You're just saying physically you're performing.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like I feel like the person I'm working with shouldn't notice.
Yeah, that's asinine though. I get it.
I guess so.
I fucking get it.
Yeah.
I probably lived 15 years of marriage like that.
Okay.
That was the same thing. That was the same argument.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I'm here. What do you mean I'm not present? I'm right here.
I'm literally here
I'm
physically.
fucking right here. This is the stupidest argument I've ever had.
Yeah.
Until you realize where your presence is. You know what I mean? You were not in the moment.
Absolutely.
You're worried about tomorrow's problems that aren't even fucking problems yet.
It's not
and
even.
They just want you to hang out with them. You're hanging out. I'm sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
I'm in the room with you.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, everybody knows you're not participating with us.
Yeah.
They're very different.
Yeah.
Damn, we should do this little experiment I saw this guy do.
That's interesting too, because it's like in those moments, it's not like I'm not present. It's not as though I'm thinking of other things and that's distracting me from my work, but it is the case that I'm like fighting to be there. Like it's taking a lot of effort.
Then it's not the same as being there.
It isn't the same. Yeah.
And that's why I asked, and I know it's hard to answer at any one point.
Yeah.
Why? Where are you that you're not there?
Right.
And I'm not asking that because I need you to answer that. I'm asking that because that's what I have to ask myself in it.
Yeah.
To get out of it. Why am I not here right now? And it's always an anxiety thing. It's always, what's tomorrow? What's happening? When does the pool thing start? When do I gotta? And that's pulling you over somewhere else. Now your presence is gone. And for a lot of times for me, like me and Kenzie were like sitting in her room one day just talking about all this shit. And it like ended with both of us like sitting there crying because it was just like the fact of me having to realize, like, dude, I don't remember most of your childhood.
Yeah, wow.
And that's painful for me.
Wow.
And not only is that painful for me, but I also can recognize what that's done to you. And I do not want you to repeat that because the things that made me so unpresent to the point where I don't remember the fun shit that we were doing when we were doing it, was that my isolated problem? No, because everyone around me felt that problem at the same time I was dealing with it. And in turn, they took it. They had to deal with that as well. When you know someone's not right, you can't just be like, oh, they're not right. That sucks to be them. And go on with life. No, you're like, well, what's going on with them? What are they doing? Why are they like that? And you're analyzing. Well, you can only do that for so many years of your ultra sensitive part of your young life as a child before you start realizing like, damn, I took on all that fucking shit that you were doing near me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unbeknownst to all of us, consciously.
Mm.
But subconsciously, we couldn't get away from it. I gave that to her.
Mm-hmm.
And now I watch her do it. And I have to step in. Hey, what's wrong right now? What's the problem right this fucking second?
Mm-hmm.
And we've done that so many times now that as soon as hey, she'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, no. And I'll hear her say it. What's wrong right now? Nothing. Nothing's wrong right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a cool moment to have with your kid, but it's painful to know that it had to be bred from fucking it up. You gave them the disease that now you're giving them the cure for.
At least you're giving them the cure.
Yeah, and that's something, right? But
yeah,
you'd prefer it to just never have to be there in the first place.
Right. But I mean, it's like, I don't think it's avoidable. Like, there's nobody who's without shortcomings, and you just got to hope that your shortcoming has a solution, and that you are the one who's able to offer it, and it's not someone else,
Yeah. It's pretty interesting earning a spot back into their life where they start bringing you things that you wouldn't have brought your parents, or that that this should be an uncomfortable topic. This should not be easy for you to bring to me and talk about, but we are.
That's really cool.
It is fucking super cool. So when we've done a lot of talks on just the ways to spot like manipulation in relationships and the tactics that people fall into when they're not fulfilled and try to control other people in relationships, like all these things.
Mm-hmm.
As she's becoming a young adult and going into work relationships with people she's just meeting because they have to work at the same place that she does, and boyfriends and the shit that they're doing or saying or whatever. And she'll get upset with stuff that's happening and then just come out and be like, hey, like, what's your take on this?
Yeah, how do you read this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fucking super cool to be able to one, be able to, in a place that you have matured enough yourself to understand and like help with that. Because if you were to bring that to someone who didn't have that, you just get met with nothingness, And then two, that it's the comfortability between the family pieces is there enough to come and actually want that information and be able to give it. It's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah.
Where it's you answer their questions with more questions just to prompt the thinking. Hey, why would he say something like this, and this? I'm like, what does that sound like to you?
Mm-hmm.
And see if they can put the pieces together. Well, it sounds like guilt. Okay.
Right.
Is that part of the manipulation triangle of fear, obligation, or guilt?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's the third one. Okay. So he's trying to manipulate me. Why? Good question. What else is happening? What's happening in his life? You know what I mean?
That's a Socratic method.
It's just...
That's why he had to drink the hemlock. But it is interesting because it's for one, it's really effective, but also it's like it shines a light on the way that, like, before we ask ourselves a question, more likely we have a emotional reaction, and that becomes the sole focus of everything.
Yeah,
right.
The symptom, not the problem.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big issue, but it helps a lot in even just your own personal development to understand how people work. Because if you understand why someone's doing something, it's incredibly hard to be upset with them.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've pinned down, when you think it's just this, wow, they're just being a prick to me.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not. What's going on with them? What's going on in their life? Like, look behind the curtain, and once you've exposed, like, oh shit, they're having a really difficult time with this or that, and like, man, I could really see how this would make them act like that. You don't get mad anymore about anything because you can just understand. And if you can understand why it's happening, there's nothing to get upset about.
I think what gets challenging is, like, I think I can say that I've had that ability for a long time now. And it was challenging when someone was mistreating me, because I can see where it's coming from and I wasn't sure what to do with it. Because when it's like within a interpersonal relationship, like if it's a stranger, it's easier to brush off, but you're, in constant communication with someone and they're mistreating you. The part of me that's like, well, I don't want to brush it off because I don't want to let them think that this is okay.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to make it a bigger deal than it needs to be, because I can see I want them to understand that I understand where this is coming from, and I'm not going to use this moment or this reaction or this action as a way to define them, right?
Would you have that conversation with them?
Depends on the relationship. Like,
why?
I mean, for one, it was like my employer, right? It was like this
okay. So
psychotic
a
guy.
Power dynamic, okay.
Yeah, there's this power dynamic, and my own like ego mixed with my curiosity, thinking that like I can affect this person somehow in a helpful way.
Could.
Yeah. But I never did, or at least not in the ways that not in the moments where I was trying to, It's like this person is like offering me a raise and it's laughable, right? And he's like posturing and like doing all this like weird tactic to like make it sound like it's a great deal, and I'm thinking about like why this is his tactic and how he goes about justifying this, and why he would pay me less than the last person who had this position when I'm like undeniably better at my job than that person. And I know that I can like haggle with him to get what it is I feel like I deserve. But I want to instead like try to give him the opportunity to arrive there. Just like, what am I doing? But that side of it though, just trying to like figure out how I should react and respond to that knowledge is the part that like I really did not know at all, like how to navigate that, I think, and now it's a case by case basis. I'm much better at it now, but there's definitely
it takes a lot of repetition, I think, right? There's
going to be people who I have, relationships with who I'm going to have that same issue, because it's going to, appear in a different way, in a way that I haven't experienced, that I'm not really used to,
Yeah.
But it's always a challenge of like,
there'll be a new twist on it.
I think it's great to be like empathetic and forgiving for someone's humanity, and like, acknowledge trauma and a past and a life that's there behind this, moment you might be experiencing with them. But I also don't want to like allow that to like make me be passive,
Yeah.
Or to, I don't want to use that knowledge to disregard myself.
Yes. To not acknowledge it and have to let them know, like, I see what you're going to. That's not acceptable though, for you to treat me like this, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
To not do that is self-abandonment, and that ruins self-esteem.
Yeah. I didn't know that side of it for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like totally abandoning myself. And it took a long time to even notice that that's what I was doing. Like I didn't even regard myself as a person worth consideration in that equation, like.
It is weird how that just completely escapes us for so long.
Yeah.
I saw a psychologist lady talking about well, they were being interviewed, and they're like, well, what do you do, or what do you say to somebody that does this, this, and this, or says this to you? And they say, well, she said, well, first, I would ask myself something. And they're like, what? What would you ask? Why would you ask yourself something when someone's being an asshole to you? And she said, I would ask myself what I have done, what I have said, or how have I presented myself to let them think that that was going to be acceptable.
That's good.
And that is point number one for me to find and change.
Yeah, that's great.
Because they're just one example of this thing that's going to keep reoccurring.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control the outside, but you can control the things about you that are going to tell someone immediately, like, that shit probably ain't going to fly.
Yeah.
I'm going to not do that.
Yeah.
Some people will blow right past that shit like a speed bump at 60 miles an hour.
For sure.
And you'll have to do something about it. But for the most part, I think you can limit that shit. But it does first take knowing.
Of course.
If you don't recognize it, you're fucked. You can't fix anything.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This guy, like my old boss, was so, you can tell that I'd spent enough time with him to tell that this behavior was so ingrained that he didn't even know how he was coming across.
Yeah.
He had no clue that people thought he was an asshole, which was just like so,
the lack of self-awareness.
So absurdly apparent, dude. Yeah, the lack of self-awareness was astounding, but nevertheless, it just goes to show it was a good example of like how far it can go for me, for some people. I'm like, some people truly do not know. They think they're the good guy, and they're out there like fucking terrorizing.
A lot of people also choose that. Narcissists in general.
Yeah.
Choose that ideology.
Mm-hmm.
I am the fucking hero always.
Well,
why is everyone else doing all this horrible shit to me that makes me have to do this?
Yeah, especially when it feels like the thing that's getting them the things that they're after, like
being like that?
Yeah.
Well, it's a manipulation tactic in and of itself.
But like, this guy might be able to like manipulate and strong arm people into working for him, let's say. But they won't stick around. But it doesn't matter because he'll just do that to the next person, right?
Yeah, it's a revolving door.
But that's all he knows. So he doesn't even have an awareness of a way where you get someone to work for you who wants to work for you and they don't leave.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't even, that's like not a possibility,
He's never seen it because he doesn't curate it.
In all aspects
so
of their life. So
then he
just
assumes this is how it is.
Right, and that's the parallel in every other aspect of his life. It's like, I'm pretty sure this is the only way, like it's like this weird certainty.
You see that a lot in relationships too. Like people who choose the mentally, verbally, physically, emotionally abusive route.
Oh God.
To like, I'm gonna keep you here because I want you to stay here.
Yeah.
But instead of treating you better than you think anyone else could possibly treat you and give you the reason to stay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just wear you down and fuck you up emotionally and mentally to the point where you don't think you're worth anything, so you won't leave. It's the same outcome.
Yeah.
You just destroyed a person instead of bringing them up. And it's like the worst possible thing.
And again, in both situations, it's just like, I didn't know that there was a different way.
Yeah. The person who does.
To make someone stay.
Yeah. All the abusive, whatever the fuck.
Or I don't have the tools required for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty screwed up.
But you see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking everywhere.
You know what's really cool? When you meet an emotionally healthy, stable person.
Where are you finding them at?
Just every once in a while you bump into one. Like my the manager.
You almost made that a fucking. You seen that guy? That he's like a stoner dude with long hair, and he's like, bro, you know what totally rips in your 30s? Love.
Love is like mega, dude.
And now he's like, he got famous off that one video. So he does all the videos like that. You know, it totally fucking rips.
Oh, that's
The
great.
sunset. He's
Hell
like
yeah.
all these like little things that people take for granted. It's funny. But you started that like it was going to be one of those.
My manager right now at the spa that I work at is like ideal. It's someone who like is very considerate of her employees, like won't make you like feel guilty for like requesting a day off or something, right? Works to try to like accommodate what you ask for, even if it's inconvenient. Like it's not the most convenient thing, but like we'll see what we can do kind of a thing, right? Is like funny and friendly and easy to talk to and be around, but also killing it at like their managerial duties, right? Like everything is taken care of and accounted for. And I've met lots of people who are one of the or the other, right?
Yeah.
Who are like super fun and cool and like terrible managers.
Yes.
Or like great managers who you cannot stand, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm like I've been here for a while now, but I'm continuously blown away. I'm like, how are you both of these things? Like I've met maybe no one, you know, or like a very, very few people who are capable of doing both of those things, you know, like being a decent human being.
With them about this?
No, I mean, I've made it like as apparent as I feel like I have needed to, you know, to her.
We have to do these fucking quarterly and annual reviews at work. And it's kind of cool because I left the company for a while, and my current boss right now left the company for a while. He came back just by happenstance 3 months before I came back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got placed on his team.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a team of like 8 people or whatever the fuck it is. And I happen to be one of those people. I'm like, oh, that's cool. At least he's familiar. I was a tech when he was a tech. He came back. He worked there a lot longer than I did. So he's very much more intellectually sound with the plant inner workings and how shit is and just working in general in this shop. He deserves that position. Like he's on his shit.
Mm-hmm.
But we're able to have conversations. We just had one the other day, 2 days ago. What day is it? Wednesday. Yeah, maybe Wednesday. Thursday morning, maybe something. I don't know. But he had to come in early to do our quarterly review because it was due that day. And I was on nights doing my shit, but he was still on days. So he had to come in early to do it. Whatever. But we get to have, like, there's a form and shit you're supposed to fill out, and he doesn't bring any of that. We just fucking sit down and we have a conversation. But I've seen him call other people in and have this conversation, and it is on the form, and it is. So there's a recognition that's like, I know I'm going to fill this out later, but we don't need to do this.
Yeah.
And it is very cool to find somebody that you're on that wavelength with. But it does suck when you want, those people you want to like attach to and build better, stronger relationships with. But sometimes they're just on like a different life path.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they're having really young kids, or they're, it's just like, yeah, dude, we're not going to hang out. Our lives are way too different.
Yeah.
Which sucks because that's the case with me and him. But it is really fucking refreshing to see that shit. That's like, man.
Yeah.
You can just get stuff and like understand. We can have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to him just like during outage and stuff when shit's kind of in a lull and you get bored and you're just sitting around for hours. And we discussed religion and shit like that, which was interesting to have that conversation with him because right after COVID or during COVID, I hadn't talked to him for a few years since leaving. And he called me and asked me if I'd be willing to go to a protest with him on abortion. When they were trying to make abortion legal.
Interesting.
In Arizona. One of those fucking things. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the media was stirring up at the time to create more division. And I was like, that's not really my scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm indifferent either way. You know, I don't think the government should have a say in what anyone's doing to their own fucking body. That's not their choice.
Yeah.
So if you want to fucking coat hanger yourself or whatever, you fucking do whatever you're going to do. You know, it's not my problem. And he went on this like moral high ground speech about like how you don't think that's murder?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not even going to get into that. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
It ended up pissing me off. Like at the time, I was
Sure.
like, dude, fuck off. Don't try to make me feel like shit for not coming to your little rally to have you and all your Christian friends fucking tell everybody else how they're wrong. Like I'm just not even getting into it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking place. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And I never talked to him again until I came back. And damn, I think I still have not had that conversation with him though. Hasn't been a time like hanging out that wasn't at work to really hash that out. Because I want to have that conversation.
Hey, I just thought we should bring up abortion again real quick. Like,
dude, I will fucking do that. I'm like, hey, you remember that time you called me to go to your fucking abortion rally? Because then we had this conversation recently about religion and stuff, and I kind of told him that I think it's more of like how I think of it is not in the traditional sense of any religion.
mm-hmm.
I think religion is a flawed idea. You know what I mean? I told him all these things,
mm-hmm.
and that like I think I've felt whatever it is that spiritual thing is that you guys are trying to turn into words and embody with people in books and stories. I think that's flawed to do it. I think the issue is language is limited, and you're trying to take this idea of something that everyone feels and has and putting it into something that people can tangibly accept. And I think that's where it goes off the fucking rails, regardless of which religion it is.
Because then it's up for interpretation.
By everyone, and changing, and we rewrote it. And, well, fuck, I really thought it sounded like this. Well,
yeah,
this
but
is
not
what I
that
got
part.
like, well, don't drink coffee. Well, it didn't say soda.
Yeah,
Soda didn't exist,
yeah.
bitch. You know they're talking about caffeine. Quit fucking around.
Yeah.
Anyways. So we had that conversation, and dude, not one fucking time did he try to, like, push his shit on me or even tell me anything about anything or tell me I was like, dude, no, that's not it. You're not going to get saved. Like, I've had this conversation with other people that I really do respect and immediately shut down. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks for having this. I'm going to leave.
There's no like curiosity. It's just
no, dude, it is this way or no way.
Wall erected.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made me lose a tremendous amount of respect for this person too when that happened.
Sure.
It was super annoying.
Yeah.
To just realize like, oh, you're fully fucking brainwashed into your thing, and there's no other possibility at all, period.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. There's no more reason for this conversation. Then I just fucking left.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that, dude. After all that other shit, I'm like, whoa, like that shows a tremendous growth path that happened from the time I stopped talking to you to now. And then we've aligned so much on other things that aren't even alignment. They're just allowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird how allowing someone to do whatever it is they're doing or thinking is an avenue of alignment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't agree with you, but like, that's dope if that's the way you like to do it. Like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely have felt the same thing you're talking about with this. Is it a lady at the...
You bump into those people every once in a while, though, where you're like... Because it's like, it's easy to go like a solid stretch of time feeling like... For me, I just feel like, man, I'm sharing the world with a whole bunch of high schoolers. Mm-hmm. Like, emotionally speaking, that's what it feels like. It feels like a lot of people who, like, can't help but frequently throw tantrums, and that's most the problem with the world, is, like, someone else is throwing a tantrum, right? Because they can't take accountability for their own lives in some way, you know? And then when you meet someone who, like, not only... like is in control of like their own fucking emotions, has an awareness about the effect that they have on other people, but like is in a leadership position and killing it. Like she was like number one in like the company, you know, last year or whatever. Because a lot of people have this idea that like if you want to be like hyper successful, you have to be a fucking asshole, right? Because we have people like Steve Jobs who like ruined it for us. You know, but it is an idea. It's like, oh, like
That is one
If
path.
you want to get something done, you got to fucking
that is a path
not
that
give a
works.
shit about people, right? So it's just nice when someone's making it work in a way that doesn't like step on everyone else around them or like reduce everyone else around them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, actually, if you kind of encourage and support the people around you, everything gets better, you know? It can happen, you know? It's just nice to bump into proof of that every once in a while.
This could be a question you don't want to answer, but when you run into people like that of the opposite sex, is it difficult to not feel an attraction? Do you ever get mixed up?
No, like sexually, romantically,
I wouldn't say sexually.
I have a very strong attraction to that person. But it is not like, it is not in any way that's super easy to describe. It's just like,
Maybe that's
it's an attraction that's like, dude, I would stand behind whatever you want to do. Like if you wanted to like start your own thing tomorrow and totally abandon this place, I would love to be there and support it because that's just how much faith I have in this person and how much I appreciate like what it is they're doing in the world, you know? Like, yeah. I always have that with those types of people. It's just like, ooh, I need like to be around this person more. Like this person's got something I can definitely learn from. But that's it. It's not like, hey, you want to hang out? Like, you know, I never think that.
But you just said that.
Like, I mean,
the people I want to spend time with. Where do you?
Yeah. But I mean, for her, it's in like the context of work. So I'm like, I would always work for this person.
Even though you know that type of person's so fucking rare, I can't do that. I can't be like, oh shit, I found one. Oh well, just happens to be like the circumstances of life. We shouldn't.
Maybe if things were different too, because it's like she's also like a mother of like 3 young children with like a pretty involved life.
So you're running into.
So it's not. It doesn't even seem like that would be an option if that's something I considered. You know.
Yeah. Life again, just like I was talking about. He just had a fucking baby and.
Like this is the environment in which we get to like interact, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know. I'm grateful that at least it's there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that it's there, because you know work can really suck if the people around you suck. So it's really nice when they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you felt a reciprocation? Have you felt like a...
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't verbal, you can tell when people are like, dude, just fucking, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for just being not these fucks.
To a degree.
That's pretty much how my annual and quarterly reviews go. That we just like, dude, I got nothing for you.
I don't do...
You're doing great. This is great. And I'm like, I think you're great. You think I'm great? Great.
You know, on the like emotional maturity side of things, when I was younger, and not even that much younger, you know, I probably would have gone really out of my way to be recognized by that kind of a person. But I just do my job, you know? And like when I'm
but
like,
not anymore.
In my mind, I'm like, I do good work for myself and you'll recognize it or you won't.
Do you think earlier it was external validation?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, okay. Definitely. I
saying.
Needed someone to affirm that I was doing a good job.
Yeah. And
now I'm just like, I know I'm doing fine. You know, but
sometimes I wonder, dude. Sometimes I get
usually when I
caught in a little trap where I have to like ask him, like, "Are you sure? Are you sure there's nothing that like I'm?"
Yeah,
I could, because I know
I will throw that out there. I have asked her, like,
I know at work,
I
could do way better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to.
Sure.
Because that's not my interest anymore. My interest is my other shit that I do, and I try to place as much.
And you probably don't have to.
Right. Also.
Yeah.
I'm better than 80% of the shop putting in 60% effort.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I put in 100 on this place who doesn't give a shit about me?
Unless you're like trying to climb some sort of a ladder.
Even then, I don't think it would equate out. Like,
yeah.
I have people all around me in that shop that they are the ones constantly being recognized for an extra 1% raise that year. Like, okay, so after 8 years, dude, you make $2 an hour more than me. that amount of stress, that amount of dedication to a fucking place that doesn't give a shit, you're doing all that?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
No way.
Now, when I because of the kind of work that I do, I'm acutely aware of the fact that, like, I could just work for myself. I could be an independent contractor. And if I choose to work for a company, I'm the one making the money. It is my skill set that is the reason they have a business. So I keep that in mind. And whenever I've had a massage job, and I've had like 5 now, this is my 5th one, I end up interviewing the person at the interview. I'm like,
that's fucking interesting that you're saying this.
I'm like, I want to know from them, like, so, like, what kinds of problems, like, have you experienced, you know, at this workplace, and how did you solve them? You know? And
you're trying to interview them to find out if this is even a place you want to fucking work.
Exactly. Like, do I want to give you my time?
Yeah.
Like, I'm good at my job. So do I want to bring that here? I don't know. Like, that's what I want to find out. And so I've always done that, you know, with the people I've interviewed with. And when I went to interview at this place, I didn't say a goddamn thing. Like, I was just like, as I'm like wondering, like, like what questions I'm going to ask, they are answered.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Literally at the end of that interview with her, I was like very impressed. That was it. That's all I had to say. I was like, cool, no questions, you know?
You did portray that though? Like,
yeah.
Like,
I said I was very impressed. Yeah. I was like,
that's cool. It also seems like a very self-righteous, like people would view that as like who the fuck do you think we're hiring you?
I understand. Yeah. But again,
but it's also like when you have self,
I know
self-respect.
Not only that, but like
self-worth. You know what you're worth. And you come in and you don't want to expose yourself to a shit show with a garbage manager who doesn't know how to handle conflict when it's happening, because it's going to happen. All of those things. If you can get it out right now, be like, all right, well, thanks for the opportunity. I don't think this is for me.
It's like, I know that I'm going to do my job as well as possible without skirting my responsibilities. And I know that most of the people I have worked with don't. So that's like, when you understand the kinds of people, like the quality of people they're willing to hire, and you understand the kind of quality that you're willing to bring, like, honestly, then it's okay to, like, own that.
I've never been on the other side of that table professionally. So, but I can only imagine that is felt immensely by those people when they're like, oh.
Yeah, there's always like a pause, kind of like a, what is happening? Yeah. But like,
which is funny because they probably just get lulled into like, do you have any questions? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's all kinds of dumb, like having a teenager that's interviewing at all kinds of places now. It's like, it's hard to, it takes time. It takes you honing in on yourself, and it takes like building these traits, these character traits, to be confident enough to know that you deserve that. So she doesn't have it at 16, obviously.
For sure.
No one does. No one did. But putting that in their mind, I think at least lets them understand, like, oh. And when she comes and talks about, like, would you believe they fucking did? They told me to clock out and keep working, and they... Remember all of these things so that the next place that you go to, you can start asking them these questions. Hey, when things like this arise, how would you handle that as a manager?
Mm-hmm.
What is your policy for getting back to your subordinates when they email, text, whatever it is?
Exactly.
Like, all of these things that you think are pissing you off now are the important points to ask later, because although you want the job, you want a place to work, you don't want to be fucking miserable.
Yeah, you're learning what to avoid.
You're learning how to negotiate what your time is worth.
But this all, for me, came from after working at a kitchen, not even understanding I was worth respect, accepting less money than I knew I was worth, you know, like, and dealing with just like daily verbal abuse, you know?
I think that's part of the path.
It's not like, yeah, I definitely was not in this kind of, had anything like this kind of confidence beforehand.
Well,
I definitely
it's
had
built.
to, you had to deal with like a lot of fucking, yeah, shitty people. And I also had to go through a lot of like self-honesty of like my own, like, oh shit, like I guess I was being kind of lazy. I guess I could have done better and I didn't, you know?
That's why I get nervous about some of these things, and I ask, like,
Right.
what do you think about my performance?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. What do you really think about it?
Yeah, don't fuck with me right
because
now.
I know I could do better, but I don't think it's worth doing better.
Yeah.
So is this cool? Is this like an acceptable amount that I'm putting
Yeah.
in? I don't ever want to be the guy that's like, you're putting in so little, it's a fucking problem.
Right, yeah.
That's not a fair exchange.
There
You're
is
paying me to do something, I want to do it to at least the minimum standard.
Yeah. There is a part of it that is imperceptible by the people who see it, right? But it's perceptible to you.
Right. I know everything. I'm sloughing off.
Yeah, you can always improve 1% forever, right? But it's like when there's that like 10% gap is when you want to be called out. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like what the hell are you doing here? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I try to make it a goal to never let myself get to that point, because you should know. You should have a circuit breaker in there somewhere that trips like, hey, dude, that was a fucking bum-ass move.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of that. But sometimes I think, like, that's a perception thing. Like, maybe they're them questioning, like, really, bitch? Like, that's how you're going to... That might be different than mine, and I just want to make sure that, like, we're still aligned and thinking that whatever I deem is acceptable is also acceptable to you, and I'm not dipping below that, because I don't want that.
Right.
You got to check every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bro.